my lighting, make sure you guys can see. Can someone, I don't know if you can figure out, see where we at. I want to see if you can see what I'm working on. How about now? Probably not. Okay, we need a better plan. I apologize. So, okay. So here's what I want to show you. I want to show you a cheap, inexpensive way to make an ice fishing tip down. Okay? So, literally, I just learned this myself today. Yesterday. Very sorry, guys. I locked myself out. Okay. So, what I want to show is a cheap, inexpensive way to make a tip down. Now, I don't know if I can do this without my son here to help video, which really stinks, but I guess we'll try. I can always prop it up on something, and we'll go from there. So, this is it. So the whole purpose of this is, you see the strings attached, okay? 2 different sets of string. We have little eyelets, and you just set this on the ice after you drill your hole, and if you balance it correctly, it'll do the jigging for you with the wind. The wind will move it, right? Pretty neat. I think it's pretty neat. So that's the whole goal. If you're ice fishing, if you like ice fishing, you're doing your thing, this is a tip down. So let me get a couple pieces and parts. I'll explain it to you as we go. I did have it all laying here, and then I started messing around trying to get you a better thing to see, and I messed it all up. So just give me a second. Let's see, workstation. I really got to get a better setup for my workstation, okay? Now we're going to turn this as straight as we can so you guys can see. You can see the workbench, right? Yep, great. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sit down here. Hopefully that makes you see better. If not, I apologize. Going to go over what we're doing. Now, this is a very important part of what we're making. Now, you're going to laugh at that, but it's a very important part of what we're making. So if you're interested in ice fishing, you've never done it. I just did it for the first time in 20 years. And I had a guy show me an inexpensive, cheap way to make a tip down. And honestly, it's pretty cool, guys. Like, it's pretty neat. So let me just show you quick before we get started. Okay, all scrap lumber. Designed it if the wind blows, it jigs for you. Pretty neat, right? And right here is where that clip goes. So I'm going to just build one. It'll take a little bit. Ask questions. I'm going to try to show you each step as I go. I'll explain each step. So please ask a lot of questions. I will help you any way I can and explain to you any way I can. Now, I don't see any comments. Let me just make sure before we start. Okay, I don't see any. So let's get started on making a tip down for ice fishing. Okay, I got one done, one set up there. My first time making it myself. I was showed by a guy at work, and I think they're really cool. I'm going to go ice fishing tomorrow, so I want to share this with you. All right, so what I did is I have a piece of 1.5 inch wide dunnage. It does not need this groove. However, I like it because I can pull the piece out, flip it upside down, and carry it easier. Okay, this piece is not required like this. It can look like a solid piece of 1.5 inches, okay? So that's our goal. Let me grab, what did I miss? Oh, I got 2 more pieces I want to show you. I have them laying here, but. Okay. All right, I apologize. So, I want to show you a couple things, okay? Again, first, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches wide, okay? Then what we did is we took 3/4 inch 1x4s. You can use 1x3. I'll be honest with you, I think the 1x4 works better. and we drilled an 1.25 inch circle, okay? Now you'll see that what we did is that we actually left this long. So what I did is I made a mark at 8 3/4 inches right here, okay? Then I measured dead center of the board, and I just drilled out with an 1.25 inch wood bit. If you're asking what a wood bit is, I don't know if I have my 1.25 inch laying here close, but this is a wood bit, okay? So 1.25 inch wood bit. So once I made my marks, I just drilled through. Then what I did is I cut it off with a chop saw right flush that you just, if you guys look real close, you can still kind of see this part, okay? Now that's done on purpose. The hooks on top are actually a little better. Help secure it a little more because they go in the wind. Now, when I do that, I like to take this, okay? I only made one before, but I've seen them made off my buddy, and I decided I'm going to make one and actually show people. I think it's a really cool thing to show people how to make. If you have a ice fish, it's very inexpensive, and it's actually really neat to watch, okay? So again, you're going to drill 1.25 inch hole, 8 3/4, half of your width. This is a 1x4, 3/4, 1x4, okay? Make two of them. Now, then we're going to take our 1.5 inch block, and you can eyeball. I'm not going to lie that you can eyeball this. I did have a tape laying here. I like being precise. So what I do is I measure each side back 1 inch. Make a mark. It's a little dot, nothing fancy. Okay. Then you're going to have to pre-drill. So I have a lot of stuff laying here. This is a 1/16 drill bit. Okay. I just pulled a brand new battery off the charger. Let me grab that. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to just drill 2 holes in here to keep when we put a screw in, it doesn't break. That's it. Nothing fancy. I'll show you here in a second. Okay. Okay. So you see what we did so far. So all we did is drill holes. Okay. Now, on those black marks we made, okay, we want this sticking up, okay? This is going to be our main pivot point of our ice fishing rod. Tip down, whatever you want to call it, okay? So, we're going to put it flush, and then we're going to take 2 5/8 screws. Again, you guys, that if you build anything, you can use, what you feel fit. This is just what I'm using. So I grabbed the wrong bit. 1 5/8 screws. Okay, here we go. Okay, you're going to put that on your mark. So what you're going to want is it 1 inch back from the end. Okay? We're going to screw this in place. So here we go. Apologize for the noise. Okay, so that's one. Now we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing. Okay, again, we already have our holes drilled. Okay, we're going to put it 1 inch, which if you were paying attention earlier in the video, that we made a mark, a black mark there. Okay, you're going to put this in, put it flush with the bottom. And just run that tight, okay? Now, I want to put one more in. I do 2 screws in a 1x4. Just holds better, okay? There you go. Sink the head a little bit. Make sure that baby's good and tight. Now, this is your base. This is your stand, okay? So, as we put this down on the ice to fish, you want it to face the short side. The short side will go to the hole. The long side will not. Okay, that'll be away from you. Okay, now, next part. So, now we're going to go to what I like to call the rod. Okay, now we are going to take, now listen, when I tell you this, these are 15, 30-second eyelets. Okay, these are really small. And let me tell you that, hey, my dog's trying to drink out of the furnace. So, I mean, these are tiny. Smallest eyelets I've ever used. So, you got to take your drill bit. Now, this drill bit is, let me not lie to you, I have it laying here. This is a 16th drill bit, okay? So now you're going to take your drill bit, you're going to take, now this is 3/4 by 1/2 inch thick. It must be that, okay? 3/4 this way, 1/2 inch this way. It must be that. And it must be, it can be scrap you have laying around, but it's got to be good lumber. And you want it fairly straight when it comes off. Some lumber, when you cut it, turns into waves. We don't want that, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to come about 3/4 inch back in the center of it. We're going to drill, let me put it in front. We're going to drill just a little hole, only a starter hole. We're not drilling through because these aren't long, okay? Then we're going to drill back. I believe I made them 8 inches. I just want to make sure. 7. So then come off the end 8 inches. And we're going to put a dot. Okay? Dead center of width. We're going to go dead center of width, 8 inches from the end. Okay? And we're going to drill another hole. Now, we are not drilling all the way through or very far. These are very small eyelets. So we are just drilling enough to get a pilot hole started. Okay? Now, so you see these eyelets I'm talking about. I mean, here. These babies are tiny. I mean, this is big, sexy. This is little eyelet. Okay? So, what we're going to do, we're going to take our eyelet and we're going to put them in them holes. Okay? Now, the issue is, I believe I just drilled with the wrong drill bit. That's not good. I just had the drill bit laying here. No, that's the right drill bit. What happened? All right, let's try again. Oh, I know what happened. I drilled through. I drilled too deep. Like I said, you just want a starter hole because these are so small. When I'm talking here, I'm not paying attention. Sorry about that. Okay, let me do this again. Now, same thing. I mean, you literally are just making an indentation in the wood. There's nothing, because these are tiny. I mean, so we're just making enough that we can start them. Okay, we're gonna take this little eyelet, if you can see here, and we're gonna screw this little eyelet in there. Okay. Once we got it started, I'll use something to help push and turn. Okay. There we go. Now it's going. Like I said, it's very important you don't do anything but like just I don't know how you want to word it. Just basically bump the wood and just put a little hole there. Because if not, these eyelets will pull out on you. And then everything you did is useless. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to catch a fish and be like, oh, I got a fish. And then there goes all your stuff. Okay, so then what I do is once I get this in so far, I'll stick something in the eyelet hole. I just keep turning until I get the eyelet super snug. I want the whole eyelet basically against, okay? Then what we do is we turn it this way. See how it's right with the wood? I don't know if you can see your little eyelet there. Let me try to get close. There you go. Okay, so there's one. Now we're gonna take the other one. God, they're so little. You can't find them. You know, I'm right in front of your face. Okay. And you're gonna do the same thing. So here's another one. Again, on the front, we're about 3/4 inches back, 1/2 inch, 3/4, whatever your preference is. And then on your second one, the one we did first, that one we're back about 8 inches off the end. Okay. So we're gonna screw this in. This is a very easy live how-to video. If you're ever interested in ice fishing and you're trying to figure out how you can go, listen, this is cool. I'm grateful the guy taught me this, and this is something I thought I got to share with others because, you know, here I am. I used to ice fish with my uncle, but, we took rods and some jigs. Never did I do it this way, and I thought this was extremely awesome. So I'm very grateful for the guy to be able to show me and give me the knowledge to show somebody else. Okay, so that's all we're doing. There's an eye. There's an eye. Okay, so that's the start of what we're doing. Now, next step, we're going to drill in two. Have them here. We're going to drill in two 1/2 inch. These are 5/8 because they're what I had laying here. 1/2 inch holes. Okay, so bear with me. All right, so we're going to drill two 5/8 holes. Now, same thing. We want the screw to hold. So these are very, very thin and small. I have a piece of wood here so I can jack everything up for you because of the way I have to film. Usually my kids film for me. Okay, so we're going to come about 1 inch off the end like we did over there. I'm going to put this little starter hole. Boom. Now, here's where it's preference. What you prefer. Okay, I think I made mine 3 and I was happy with that. 3.5. So yeah, I went 1 inch from the end and it was 4 inches in. So just do your 4. Marker. Again, just put a dot. It is nothing that has to be super, look at me. I just like taking that and just starting to, it is the tiniest hole. And the reason I do that is I don't want it to strip out. Okay, so that's the goal in this. Now, I'm going to change bits. So, screws. I have so much stuff going at once. Here we go. 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4. Somebody correct me here. Okay, this is a 1/2 inch round head screw. Okay, whatever you want to call it. All we're going to do is take this. We don't want to split it. We want to go in just enough that, okay? Now, that started to look like it might have started to move it a little bit. Now, you want to make sure they're pretty close to even. Now, that there is pretty even, okay? All right, now, don't laugh at me. One of the most important parts of making this ice fishing rig, you're going to laugh. Well, I laugh too. But I'm telling you, it's important, is this clip right here that you can buy at any Staples or Walmart. So the reason we cut this size is because this reaches its maximum at that 1/2 inch mark. Okay, watch this. So you take this, put it on there. Okay, now you guys, I'm gonna disappear for like 2 seconds. I'll tell you what, I'll take you with me. Let's go. So then what we're gonna do, I have this set here, bear with me, because I don't have my son here to film, and usually he films and he does a great job. So now, we're gonna take this little dowel rod. This dowel rod is 5/16. If you're making one of these, remember that, because I bought the next size up, it does not work. Okay, just telling you. Okay, so we are marking 4 inches on this dowel rod. Okay, so you're gonna take this, measure back, you guys, 4 inches, make a dot. We're gonna take this little saw, guys watching, we're gonna cut that mark. Now, this is very thin, nice and slow, nice and steady. We don't want to bust through the other side and break it. Okay, we want to make it really nice and neat. Okay, that's all we're doing. 4 inch, 5/16 dowel rod. Next step, let's move. Okay, let me get you back where we were. Okay, now, we're gonna take this clip that we talked about. Okay, watch this. Are you watching? And we're gonna slide this. Now, we move this to where it becomes, now look, see how there it's top heavy? We don't want it top heavy. Okay. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Now, a little bit yet. We like the top to be up just a little more than the bottom. That's beautiful. Let me pull this back. Now, okay, watch this. So now what happens is, try to turn this on an angle. I don't know if you can see the front. Okay, so now when the wind blows and you have this sitting at your ice fishing hole, watch. It jigs for you. You don't have to do anything. It just jigs for you. Fishing live bait, whatever, it'll just jig for you. Okay? So I love that part. That's cool. That's neat. Don't tell me that's not neat. Look, it will jig for you when you're ice fishing. It just jigs for you. Okay? So I'll turn this. Now, what I do then is I'm going to take this out. Now, here's another thing I want to stress to you guys. You see how this piece moves and falls? We don't want that. So one of the reasons we bought 5/16 is if you push it hard enough, it locks in place. Look, right in them clips. Pretty doggone neat, ain't it? Watch. Yes, it is. Okay, now, we're making a rod, right? So we made a rod holder. We have the rod, but how do we fish? So, next step. So we are going to use, I have Yozuri. I call it Yozuri. I don't know what the right term is. Braided string, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to take that. I'm going to make the same knot I always make. So the question is, who can guess this knot? Okay. I don't know why there's no comments, because there's a ton of us watching. Top chat, some messages. Nope, hide all chats. All messages are visible. Let's do that. Ha, there it is. Do you build a time machine? No. Measure twice, cut once. Absolutely. I knew there were comments rolling in. Okay, so all we're going to do is this. String back through the hole. Okay. Give her a little cinch down. That's going to go right on our screw. Now watch this. And once we tighten that down, okay. Now, I know a lot of you trust that knot. I trust the knot I use all the time. However, I do a safety knot. Don't kill the messenger, but I do the safety knot. So you actually see me do that safety knot twice. I am not going through all this, and then all of a sudden, it breaks, okay? So even when I do my regular fishing and all that, I run a safety knot. Now, I had a utility knife laying right here in front of my face, and it is gone, like Donkey Kong. So I guess we'll cut it off later. Okay, so we're going to take this. Now, so I recommend, I don't know how deep you're going to go, only you do. So I'm going to tell you, I do 60. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. I know, I'm counting. Okay, now, this is 15-pound Yozuri Super Braid. You can use whatever you want. That's just what I'm using, okay? I gotta find that utility knife at this point, so bear with me. I have it laying here. Yeah, here it is. I know I have one. Okay, I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna cut that off. Now, what I wanna do is cut that off to the point where it just comes out the eyelets. Okay, so about right there. All right, now we're going to take a fishing swivel. Now, the guy who showed me does not use a swivel, but if there's anything I seen ice fishing and learned at one night is the ice builds up quick. So any extra weight will help pull that down to the bottom, right? Look at that. So any extra weight helps pull that to the bottom. So what we want to do, again, I use this knot for everything. I think this knot is awesome. So a couple wraps, back up through, cinch it tight. And I know, you think that knot's awesome, but you still safety knot it. I know, but I do, I'm sorry. There's not a knot in the world I trust on just one tie through. Maybe it's a conscious thing. I don't know, there's some really good knots out there. And like I said, I have a lot of faith in this one, so. Years ago, I never did that. But actually, once I started fly fishing more, I started using the safety knot, which is stupid maybe, but I don't know. So anyway, so what I did is I completely did that wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, went through. Okay, so you see there's your swivel. Look, swivel's hanging off. String goes through your eyes, then comes up and sticks here. So this is basically playing as your reel, okay? Now, then I take, where are we at? This is stren. So we're going to take stren. What is the stren? 6 pound monofilament. Okay. So I'm going to take stren, 6 pound monofilament. We're going to do the exact same knot. Okay, exact same knot. We're going to go through the hole, come back up, put my finger in it, have a couple of really good twists. Okay. Gonna run that back through the hole. I try to get at least 5 twists. They honestly say, I believe the rule is, however, a twist per length, I think is how it is, okay? I don't know. You do what you want. I think a lot of that comes down to what you believe, what you feel is true and fit, and all those things. Okay, so safety knot in, done. I always do a double safety knot. Don't need a knife for stren. Okay, there you go. Now, have it all made, okay? You're watching it, you see it. Now what we want to do is, so our swivel's up here. We're going to wrap on here 10 wraps, okay? I already have it done for you. Hold tight. I'm going to pull this one out so you don't have to watch me tie another knot and take wraps. Okay, so we're going to take this string. We're going to wrap it 10 times around here, your monofilament, okay? Now once you're done, you're going to have it looking like this. Your string's going to be through the eyes. I put a swivel. You don't need a swivel. Some people say it affects your fishing, some don't. I just did it because it was easier to show you guys. If you trust your knots and don't want to do that, you don't have to, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to I tie a size 6 or a size 4 hook on, which you'll see is on here. So after I tie that on and I wrap it my 10 times, the monofilament 10 times around here, then I run it up and I just stick the hook in the wood. That's it. That's all you got to do. Now, I'm going to show you this again because this is the most important part, okay? This front, the short side, goes to the hole while you're ice fishing, okay? The long side goes to you or away from the hole. And once you do all this magic stuff I just showed you, this goes in here. Now look, we added string, so I'm glad it did that. So we added string and some eyelets. Now you see it's off-centered, right? And this is why I like this clip. So all you do now is loosen this up a little bit. And you're gonna move it. Because you want it to be higher in the front, but you want it to balance out so when the wind blows, bingo, that's pretty close. So when the wind blows, this happens. So now you can sit in your chair and you can relax. And this here does all the work for you. So there's your tip down for ice fishing. There's an easy way. Let me go back into the I don't know why it's hiding my comments. So I know that love you, you're funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. They call me Big Sexy for a reason. Let me catch up on comments, guys. I apologize. Measure twice, cut once. Okay. Okay. Give me a shout out. Who is it? Nick Decker. Shout out to Nick Decker. Not sure why I'm shouting him out. I'm shouting out. So, let's see. Live chat one more time. Anyway, so this is it. I mean, this is pretty well the easiest way. You're welcome. This is pretty well the easiest way I can show you that I was taught to ice fish. I mean, it's if you guys look, this clip, that clip is the most important part in that 5/16 dowel. Now, the one thing I wasn't taught was to put a screw in that clip, but I do believe I'm going to drill a hole and put a screw in that clip just to confirm the clip don't fall off. But I mean, it is, if you guys look, it's tight. It ain't coming off. That clip is, that's why you got to make sure that board is a 1/2 inch because it works so well. Okay? So again, when the wind blows, booyah, look at that. Does it all for you. What do you think? Huh? So I'm going to go back to messages here, guys. I'm going to go see if there's any more questions. Live chat. I don't know why my live chat keeps disappearing. I've gone in Alaska. Well, there you go. I never did ice fishing. I always wanted to. Where are you from? I am from Pennsylvania. The cold temperatures right now are absolutely sick. We've been, for PA, this is probably one of the coldest years we had in a long time. Just my opinion. But it's been a while. So let me see, just catching up on comments again. I apologize. If anybody has any more questions, I'll stick around here for a minute or two. Any more questions on what we did or how we made it? I am going to shoot a video tomorrow. I will go live again tomorrow once we put this on the ice. And you guys can actually see this in action. So how about you like this video if you want to see this in action tomorrow for ice? I think that would be cool. Shoot us a like. And, you know, let's definitely, guys, do me a favor, please. I've been working really hard at trying to get better at this. And I feel like every day Big Sexy Outdoors is getting better for me and my team. If you guys could hit that like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it, man. All you got to do is hit that button. Let us know you appreciate it. You want to see more videos. But if you have any questions, now would be your time because I'm going to move over to TikTok Live and make the same thing again because I want to make sure I can share this with a lot of people. Okay? But it is so simply made. Thank you, Chris. It is so simply made, so neat. I mean, it's just, it's such a cool design that somebody showed me. And I just, honestly, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the people God puts in my life and some of the opportunities and stuff he gets to make. So I appreciate you guys watching. God bless. And if you guys haven't checked out Laughing Rogue, take a minute and go check out Laughing Rogue. Man, our viewers just popped back up, skyrocketed. So if you guys have any questions, this is an ice fishing tip down we built. Just did a whole video on how to do it. Please watch through the video. Hit that like if you like it. Take your time and check it out. When the wind blows, it does all the jigging for you. Check that out. Awesome, awesome setup. Some of them we paint, and the cool part is when you paint them and the kids are with, the kids have a blast because you'll hear us yell, Whitey, Blackie, Bluey, and the kids take off running. So again, we're going to try to shoot a live tomorrow, doing it and using these. So anybody interested, you can catch us tomorrow. I'm supposed to meet the crew around 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll be at Sweet Arrow Lake in Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. So about, I don't know, half hour from me, 25 minutes. So thank you for watching. God bless every one of you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Big Sexy, out.